Howdy, and how are you? As you can see, today is a snow day, so I'm going to use the time at home to do some maintenance on my 20 horsepower Suzuki Outboard. I'm going to change the engine oil and the gear oil. Here we go. Okay, to change the engine oil, you're going to need a suitable oil. I use this Quicksilver 10W30. It is 4-stroke marine engine oil. For the lower unit, you're going to need some gear lube. And again, I use Quicksilver marine SAE 90 weight. If you've watched one of my other videos, I talk about accurately measuring the oil before you add it to the engine when you have these smaller oil sumps. So I have a measuring device, a funnel, and also I have the owner's manual here. The instructions for this are going to be the same for the 9.9, the 15, and the 20 horse motors. Have to remove the cowling. You can see here is the dipstick for the oil. This cover here is the oil fill, where we'll be adding our oil. Right here is the oil drain. All right, with a suitable drain pan below, I'm going to use an 8mm Allen wrench, Allen key, to remove the drain plug for the engine oil. This is going to run all over the lower unit, and I'll clean that up real good before I put it back in the water. That is important to do every time you do engine oil maintenance on these, since they do actually submerge into the water. You don't want to be putting any of this oil into the lake or the body of water that you are going to be fishing out of. According to the instructions, you need to replace this crush washer every service. I typically buy a bunch of them in bulk, just off Amazon. You just get the right dimensions, and that way I always have them on hand and there's no excuse not to do it. All right, after draining the oil and replacing the drain plug, remove the oil fill cap. Sometimes when you're changing the engine oil, the oil will drain faster if you loosen the dipstick or the oil fill cap. The owner's manual calls for 1 quart or 1 liter of oil, so I measure that out since I buy it in larger bulk containers. And what I'll do is I'll add most of this quart, and then I'll check the level on the dipstick to avoid overfilling. Might be hard to see on there, but we're both a low level, but not in the middle. because I definitely don't want to run out of oil out in the lake. There we are, about 3/4 of the way between the high level and the low level dots. So replace the oil fill cap. Make sure the dipstick is secure, and replace the cowl. And that is an oil change on a Suzuki 20 horsepower. All right, change oil in the lower unit. You have to remove the screw on the top of the unit. There's a small seal behind it. Now when you remove that plug, you're not going to have a bunch of oil drain out, because that is the fill level. So the drain plug for the lower unit again, just a Phillips screw. And the lower unit oil, the gear oil, will just drain out. Okay, now that the gear oil is drained out, put this little adapter in the hole. And what this allows is for a pump to be used to fill up the gear oil. By filling it from the bottom up to the fill hole, it ensures that you got a full sump. So all you have to do is just pump until the gear oil comes out of the top hole. The capacity for the lower unit is 1/4 of a quart. So I believe that's 8 ounces. Don't hold me to it. In my last video, I was pretty bad at volumes and math. I don't know if you can see there, but the oil is coming out of the top. So we need to put the top screw in now. And what that should do is slow the draining from the bottom hole enough that you can get the plug with this little seal into that hole. Again, clean up all the oil. She will be getting a bath before she goes into the lake. And that's how you change the oil in the lower unit of this Suzuki 20 horsepower. So changing the engine oil and the gear oil is a periodic maintenance that you need to do. I'm going to put the requirements right up here, right out of the manual, that tell you exactly how often you're supposed to be changing those oils. So that's a very simple maintenance requirement that any DIYer can do at home. with very limited supplies. Thanks for watching.